We aren't thinking about our ex, we are thinking about a version of ourselves that existed inside that relationship. This part of the relationship drops serious. Every episode covers one way the past is driving the present in our closest relationships. This is episode 18. I wanted to start with something you have probably experienced it, but never quite been able to name. The thought keeps coming back at 3 in the morning in the middle of a conversation about something completely different. When a song comes on that has nothing to do with them and we call it thinking about them, we say we can't stop thinking about our ex. We treat it as measure of how much we loved them, how much they meant, how hard it's to let go of something important. But that isn't quite what is happening. Here is what research actually shows. Rumination after a breakup is not primarily about the other person. It is about a self, the version of you that existed inside that relationship, the one who felt chosen, certain, defined, even partially, by that person's attention and presence, the one who had a clear future, a daily structure that made sense, a rule that felt real. That self is gone, and the brain doesn't have a clear process for grieving a self. It has a process for grieving a person, so it keeps going back to the person, because that is where the self was last seen. This is why the thoughts are often not about who they actually were, the specific qualities, the actual behavior, the reality of what they were like to live with. The thoughts are about who you were with them, the confidence you felt in certain moments, the future you believe in, the sense that something was settled, the daily rhythm that existed and now doesn't. We aren't missing them, we are missing the context in which certain version of ourselves existed. And that is a completely different problem, with a completely different solution. There is a second mechanism worth understanding. The brain doesn't store relationships naturally. As we covered in episode 2, memory isn't a recording. It stores the emotional peaks, the best moments, the most intense moments, not the average of the whole, not the Tuesday evenings that were fine but forgettable, not the arguments that were small and repetitive, not the accumulation of small disappointments that build up over months. The brain stores the highlights, so what we replay isn't an accurate representation of what the relationship actually was. It is the edited version, filtered, reconstructed, shaped by every moment that has passed since, and every call is also a rewrite. The relationship in memory isn't a relationship that existed. It is the relationship as processed by a grieving brain that is looking for something to hold on to. Which means that when we compare our current life to the relationship we remembered, we are comparing a real life to an ended highlight reel. That comparison is structurally unfair, and it produces pain that is not based on reality. The third thing worth understanding is why the loop runs. Rumination has a function. It is the brain trying to process an experience that hasn't yet been resolved. The loop plays because the brain is looking for an answer that would make it stop. Why did this happen? What could I have done differently? What does this mean about me? What does this mean about them? The problem is that rumination doesn't produce those answers. It produces more questions and more pain. The brain isn't running a problem-solving program on a problem that can't be solved that way. The answer rumination is looking for aren't available through more thinking about the same material. They are available through new experience, new contexts, new information about who you are, outside that structure that ended. So what actually helps? The first thing is to name what self is being grieved, not who is being missed. What version of yourself, what feeling, what sense of certainty or belonging or mattering, what future. Name it specifically, move it from abstract longing to a specific loss that can actually be processed. As long as it stays abstract, it stays enormous. Naming it make it something that can be worked with. The second thing is to build context where a new version of the self can form. The self that was lost isn't the one self available, but new self don't form in the same context where the old one lived. They need new environments, new relationships, new challenges, not as distraction, as the actual mechanism of rebuilding. The self is rational. It forms in a context, and new contexts are required for new versions to emerge. The third thing is to notice when the doubt is a loop and not a reflection. Reflection produces insight and ends. Rumination produces more rumination. The difference is movement. If the doubt is going somewhere new, follow it. If this some doubt has returned more than 3 times with new information, without new information, that is a loop, not a doubt worth following. Redirecting it at a moment is not suppression. It is a recognizing that the program is running without producing anything useful and choosing to do something else with that energy. Aren't stuck because we love it too much. We are stuck because a version of ourselves hasn't yet been rebuilt. That is a construction problem, not a love problem. And construction problems have practical solution. They just require building in a different direction than the one that brain keeps looking back at. And in the next episode, pain is unavoidable, suffering is optional, and the difference is one specific thing we do with our mind.